The story revolves around a group of 7 knights in the land of Britannia who are the strongest and have different abilities. They were all enjoying great fame and protecting the Lion's Kingdom, but they were unlucky because every famous figure must have a lot of enemies. About 10 years before the story began, they split up and vanished from history after being accused of killing a holy knight in the Lion's Kingdom. Later, it is found that it was the plan of the other holy knights to remove the most perilous barrier in their way before taking the kingdom. In order to free her people from the tyranny of the holy knights, Prince Elizabeth sets out on a quest to find those 7 legendary knights. The 5th season starts with a short recap of the previous season, telling us that 2 gods imposed eternal life on Meliodas and eternal reincarnation on Elizabeth's curses. Meliodas decides to become the Demon King to break Elizabeth's curse. Elizabeth vows to help the 7 deadly sins stop Meliodas from becoming the Demon King. After consuming a commandment, Astarasa gets out of control and kidnaps Elizabeth, claiming that he loves her. The 7 deadly sins and the archangels form 2 groups, and they go after Meliodas to stop him from becoming the next Demon King. Dariari King Gather and others are going to rescue Elizabeth. They find Astarosa and attack him. Escanor, Merlin, and Gilthunder are also heading toward demon territory. They find Meliodas trapped in a big eye. The scene shifts to Ban trying to get Meliodas' feelings back and fighting with demons in purgatory. He sleeps in purgatory, and when he wakes up, Meliodas is lying near him. Meliodas hugs him and starts crying. Meliodas tells Ban that he thought he would never see Elizabeth and him again. Meliodas cannot use his powers in purgatory because he was separated from his body due to his father's curse. They both prepare their dresses and gear themselves up to escape. They battle and defeat many demons. They encounter a beast named Wild, who's looking for his younger brother Mild. Ban and Meliodas tell him that they know his brother. Wild tells them that many years ago, the Demon King sent his brother to the other world. Meliodas reveals that he is the son of the Demon King, who sent Mild to keep an eye on him. They come to Wild's house and enjoy the meal. Why you? What a comfortable place purgatory is for sinners. Zeldris attacks Gilthunder and Hendrickson with his new spell and shows his power against Ludoshel. Merlin then explains Zeldris' new attack and how it works. Meliodas is a candidate for becoming a Demon King, but he doesn't like all this. He fights wars one after another, and Zeldris admires him. Then, when Meliodas meets Elizabeth, he knows that he has to protect her. Zeldoris meets her girlfriend, who is afraid to be killed by the king, but Zeldoris promises to protect her. In the past, the Demon King ordered Zeldris to destroy vampires, but he sealed them and one of them was his girlfriend, and he said to make them amid fear and despair for posing as the Demon King. He sealed them and said he would unseal them one day. 30,000 years have passed, and Zeldoris comes there and sees that the seal is broken. Meliodas betrayed demons, but he doesn't know that Zeldoris has to suffer a lot due to this. That's why Zeldoris is angry at Meliodas, because he kills the vampires. Zeldoris agrees to make Meliodas a Demon King because Meliodas tells him that Gilda is still alive. Meliodas seals her once more and tells her to wait for the right time. Marlin falls, and Escanor becomes crazy to see this. He uses the divine sword of Escanor and attacks Zeldoris. Zeldoris falls, and Gilda's picture comes in front of him. Escanor changed to his knight form while attacking Zeldoris. Chandler uses a magic Dark Knight book, and the whole area is covered with darkness, and Escanor can't return to his muscular form. Ludociel goes to Zeldris, but Cusack comes there. Gilthunder gets injured, and the injuries do not heal easily. Cusack and Ludociel fight, and Cusack defeats Ludociel because Ludociel is a spirit that lives in someone's body and has a boundary. Marlin says that Chandler and Cusack are very powerful, and it's difficult to beat them. Then Marlin uses her magic around them to defeat them in a situation. Cusack gets angry and attacks, but she is already prepared for it. Zeldris gets up, but Ludociel attacks him. But something happens with Ludociel, and he sits down. The Demon King comes to Meliodas and tells him that he remembers all his days in purgatory, but he doesn't remember his memories. With Astarasa, Gowther tells them that he uses a forbidden spell to stop holy wars. He has to give his life for this, and the spell can alternate the memories of a person who is known among people, including gods. Now Gowther reveals that everyone's memories about Astarasa are coming back. He also says that the person is not Astarasa. The person they are looking at is male. In the past, Gowther used a forbidden spell to end the holy war and alter everyone's memory. Gowther tells everyone that the Demon King never existed and that the person they are seeing is Male, one of 4 archangels. Everyone told Male that he looked like his brother Ludociel. When Male sees that Elizabeth loves the demon Meliodas, he gets upset because he loves Elizabeth. Then Gowther uses a spell on Male, and Male thinks that he is Astarasa. When Male comes to his present, he is worried that he killed thousands of his people due to Gowther. Gowther says that the Holy War began 30,000 years ago due to an imbalance between demons and God's power. To fill this, they had to send a strong person to the demon side to restore the balance between them. Male attacks Gowther and King, but King fights him back. Dariari tells Elizabeth to help Male, just as Meliodas helps all of them. Dariari makes a plan to distract Male, and Gowther searches for Miles' commandments to remove them. But they fail due to a mistake. Male takes advantage of the situation and takes Dariari's commandments. Elizabeth cannot heal Dariari with her magic, and she says while weeping that she cannot waste her death. She completes her wish and stops Male and the Holy War. A light flashes in the sky, and Elizabeth tells Hawk that commandments refuse to be given to Male, but he wants to fuse them in his body. Serial falls and apologizes to the goddess because he could not do this and couldn't protect Elizabeth. He says that now darkness and light cannot impact Male. Only Gowther can stop Male because he made him. Then light fell upon Serial and his friend, and they died. The attack also fell on Elizabeth, but Diane came and touched it, and Diane is shocked to know that Estrasa, Ismail, and Serial and Dariari have died. When the light is removed, Male comes into his new form. Male gives a commandment to make everyone sleepy, but it does not work on Gowther. Gowther uses a sense opener to wake all of them. He then explains Mal's commandment. Male is going to use his next commandment, but Gowther sticks with him to destroy himself to save others. And Oslo takes his commandment on himself to save his precious king. Male takes commandment. The land breaks and everyone falls. King thinks he is ashamed not to save anyone, but light flashes into his back, and he comes to his new form. He gives a punch to Male and says that now he has saved everyone. Male again uses his commandment to blast a bomb, but the king saves Diane and others using his wings' power. The king says to Male that he has defeated many villains in his journey, but he can't move them back. The king also tells Male to live for those who love him. Male tells the king to stay out of this, and then the king makes Male unconscious and says that he will not kill him because revenge expands the fury. The king left the Male and told Diane that he had fused 4 commandments into him, and now the commandments had destroyed him. Gowther thrust himself into Male's mind. Male is sitting there upset that he killed all his people with his hand. Gowther comes there and wants to help him. Male asks why he selected him for this, and not another, and Gowther tells him that Male was selected by the creator of Gowther. Gowther was created in the memory of his master's lover. When Male looks at Gowther, he looks like the lady who was killed by Male. Then Male comes out of his commandments and becomes normal, and he also cures Dariari and Oslo. Everyone gets happy, and Chandler and Cusack tell the story of a demon who becomes prideful. He is punished for this. Everyone is shocked to see their enhanced power. The fight between Meliodas and the Demon King is going to start. The Demon King, Ban, and Meliodas fight with each other, but the Demon King observes their magic, and nothing happens to him. The Demon King has cast Ban and Meliodas so far. Meliodas thinks he can't go back to the land of the living. Ban calls him an idiot, and he says they will move back and save their girls. Wild says that they fought with the Demon King 93 times and were defeated by him. The war has been going on for the past 60 years in Purgatory, which are equal to 1 hour in the real world. Ban attacks on the Demon King, who is shocked and appreciates them. The Demon King says he cannot let them return them. Ban stops the Demon King and others from searching for the door to the mortal world, but the Demon King catches Ban, and Meliodas helps him. When they are going back happily, the hand of the Demon King comes out of the door, but Meliodas cuts his hand from his body, and he comes out of Purgatory into the real world. Everyone gets happy to see Ban. He tells them that Meliodas is also coming. Elaine is fighting and falls due to her magic. Ban comes to her and gives her his immortality, and she is alive. The transformation of the first demon means that Cusack and Chandler are transformed into each other. Essenor fights with the first demon, but he is like zero in front of him. Marlin says they will be defeated by the first demon. Marlin prays for the king and others to come there. She says they have to defend until the king and others come there for help. King comes and uses his long-distance attack. When the king uses his other attack, Zeldorus cancels it. Ludociel gets mad and tells Hendrickson to carry him to Male. Hendrickson brings him out of Margaret's body. Gilthunder says he plans to be close to Ludociel and remove him from Margaret's body. Ludociel says to Hendrickson that he befools him. Hendrickson says sorry, but he offers to make him his vessel. King Diane and Male realize there is a strong energy before them. Male tells them it's the 4 commandments. Marlin tries to freeze time, but Zeldoris and the first demons try to stop her. But Essenor comes there. The Ludiciel says if Meliodas becomes Demon King, then everything will finish. The Demon King chops Escanor in the air. Ludociel comes and tells Marlin to remove her spell. Escanor falls, but Mal saves him. Escanor notices that he is Male, and then he notices all, who are members of the 7 deadly sins. He feels ashamed of himself in that condition. Escanor is shocked to see the king's wings. Escanor tells Male to use his power to save others, but Male denies it and says that when he goes into darkness, his grace leaves him. Escanor says to borrow his powers, In the fight between Ludociel and the first Demon King, Ludociel notices that instead of damaging and breaking, the first demon's power is increasing. The first demon says it's his true magic. A light comes there, and it removes all the darkness and clouds. Mael comes there, and everyone is shocked to see him. All 7 deadly sins reach there, and Mael says to Zeldris to knock under, but he refuses. Mael defeats the first demon very easily. Then Mael and Zeldris fight with each other, and Zeldris is badly defeated. Time is finished, the spell is activated, and time freezes there. Everyone is having a party at the end of the Holy War, and they appreciate Hendrickson. On the other side, Zeldris falls and remembers Gilda. He tells the Demon King to remember his promise. Then they go to check on Meliodas. All are stunned to see that Meliodas becomes the Demon King, and later, they come to know that a real Demon King comes into Meliodas' body and says he will never let a traitor sit on his throne. He only wants a young body that is used as his vessel. The Demon King says to Elizabeth that he will remove her curse, and after that, he will kill her badly. He also has 4 commandments, which Marlon says are for tonight, but they are defeated by the Demon King. Ban comes there and says that he is no longer immortal. He gives his immortality to Elaine. Demon King creates a storm, but King saves all but Ban, who is in the storm. Ban gives a punch to the demon and the storm ends. He says it's nothing compared to Purgatory. He fights very well and says he is not alone and Meliodas' feelings are always with him. Everyone talks about Ban, who becomes a different person after he returns from Purgatory. The Demon King tells Meliodas a lie to Meliodas that he killed Elizabeth and now nobody is waiting for him. Gowther uses her magic and manages to take everyone in the demon's body, telling Meliodas that they are alive and waiting for him. Everyone enters the body of the Demon King and is happy to see that the commander is fine. He says not to give up. The Demon King understands that Gowther has something to do with him. Demon King is going to kill everyone, but Meliodas attacks him. The Demon King says how he got a lot of power due to the presence of his god. He is going to kill his dear one, but Mael and Ludociel come in front of him. The attack is very hard, and they cannot face it. But Zeldris comes there. He asks his father if he knows about him, and Gilda says yes. That's why he orders him to kill the vampires, but he disobeys his order and seals them. Zeldris gets angry and promises that he will use his full power to remove him from Meliodas' body. Meliodas feels bowls on Demon King from the inside. Zeldris falls due to the Demon King's attack. Ban asks why he is doing all this with his blood, and the Demon King says it's his own business. The Demon King is in bad condition. A combo attack by everyone makes him defeated, and Meliodas comes back. Everyone is happy to see him, and Elizabeth says to him, "Welcome back." Mael says that they defeated the Demon King. The Holy War ended, and the credit goes to the 7 deadly sins. Ludociel says if the Demon King dies, it does not mean the end of the war because it's a first step. Elizabeth agrees with him. She thanks him, and he goes away smiling. All deadly sins are worrying. When Essener asks them the reason, they tell him that Elizabeth will die tomorrow and they don't know how to escape. Deanne waits for Elizabeth and asks her not to worry. She only wants Meliodas to find his true self. Elizabeth also says that if she dies, she will come back. Meliodas knows the way to remove their curse. He comes to his real magic form, and all 7 deadly sins are shocked to see him, and he removes their curses very easily. They hug each other, and Elizabeth is told to go back to the lions. Meliodas says he had worked before going to the lions. All 7 deadly sins reach their destination. Meliodas and Elizabeth descend into the hole, and he unseals Gilda. He also tells Gilda that Zeldris is not alive. Then all the members of the 7 deadly sins go to the club to drink beer. Ban tells Elaine that Meliodas can't live with them in this world. Meliodas and others are going toward lions. All 7 members of the 7 deadly sins reach the market for shopping. Elizabeth's father asks for the arrangement of the night because she is coming. Then Marlon is going to tell Elizabeth about Meliodas, but she already knows this. She says that she can't do anything for him. He wants to go. If Meliodas does not live in this world, then a lot of destruction will happen. Diane says she's heartless. Hawk asks Meliodas if he told Elizabeth about his travels, and he says he tried. When they reach Lions, the king asks Meliodas if he will get married to his daughter Elizabeth and become the next king of lions after him, because he can do this. But Elizabeth denies it and says that she is going with Meliodas to the demon world. When the 7 deadly sins are sitting in a bar, they all say to Meliodas that he helps them a lot. Meliodas says he is sitting in that place due to all of them. Marlon opens the door to the demon world. When they are going, a big stone falls on Elizabeth and she backs down. Marlon helps Elizabeth with her healing magic, but her curse comes back to her. Meliodas removes the curse, but it comes again. Meliodas understands that the Demon King is alive. Hawk is angry. Ban says that he activated the curse to take revenge on Meliodas, and they think about his vessel because a normal human being or animal can't handle much power. In the past, when Cusack woke up, he remembered that Mael had killed him. Cusack noticed the commandments there, and he killed Chandler so that he might spoil his work. Then he took Zeldris's body and put commandments in it, but he didn't know what he was doing. Cusack says many bad things about the Demon King, but he doesn't know that Zeldris is the Demon King. The Demon King stands up and kills Cusack there. Then everyone asks Marlin to close the gate to the demon world, but she says it will be closed in a while. Then the Demon King brings out a monster from the gate. P and Gowther and others tell Meliodas to take care of Elizabeth, and they fight with the monster, because only Meliodas can save Elizabeth from the Demon King. Meliodas and Elizabeth reach out to the real Demon King. The Demon King catches Elizabeth and tells Meliodas not to move. Elizabeth attacks the Demon King, and Meliodas says if he underestimates Elizabeth, then he has to face it to prevent the monster from going to lions. The other members of the 7 deadly sins attack it. King tries to attack, but Diane stops him as it affects the whole lions. Then Ban attacks in the air, and all insects die, except one who goes to lions. Male says he can fulfill his wishes, except for fighting with demons. Escanor says to give his sunshine power to him, as he wants to put his life at risk for his friends. Male tells him his body is not capable of this power and he may die. Meliodas asks Zeldris for a response, but the Demon King says he is busy with his thoughts. The Demon King made Zeldris realize that Gilda had died. Zeldris says from inside the Demon King that he wanted to talk with his brother about many things, but he couldn't do that. Gilda makes him sleep, and when the Demon King comes to his real form, Meliodas says he will save Zeldris. Then the other 7 deadly sins also come up. Escanor comes there with Male, and everyone says he will not use his power because he will die. But he doesn't care about it and wants to kill the Demon King. The Demon King attacks Escanor, but Ban comes there. Mark and others attacks on the Demon King. Gowther and Meliodas come to mind. Gowther tells Meliodas that they only motivate Zeldris to fight the demon but can't help him. When they reach there, Gilda stops them from interrupting because he is in peace. Zeldris already knows that Gilda is fake. Meliodas says that he comes to save him. The Demon King makes copies of Zeldris, and Meliodas has to choose one of them. Gowther comes out of the demon's mind because they can't make any change there. Real Gilda bites the Demon King, then tells him that the bite is a way to reach his mind, and she recognizes the real Zeldris there. Other Zeldris attack her, but Meliodas kills all of them. Zeldris feels happy to see that Meliodas comes there to save him. Then Zeldris says to the Demon King that he will meet with his elder brother after his destruction. Then all 7 deadly sins encompass the Demon King. Escanor comes into his power and goes for fighting. Others say he should help, but he denies it and says to stay away from it. Escanor and the Demon King fight badly with each other, and Ban says he has a short time. When the time limit ends, the demon says to Escanor that he will not, and transforms again with double heat. Then Meliodas understands what he is doing, and he remembers the past story of Escanor, in which Meliodas took Escanor with him and told him to join the 7 deadly sins. Escanor could not control his powers. All the villagers wanted to kill him, but a girl saved him. When the other deadly sins were sleeping, Escanor decided to run away because he didn't want to tease them. But Marlin came there, and later Meliodas and Ban also came there. Meliodas wanted to check his power, but the sun rose, and his curse came again to him, and he asked Meliodas not to touch him. He gave a punch to Meliodas, and he fell upon Ban. Then he joined the 7 deadly sins. In the present, Meliodas sees that Escanor converts his life to energy, and he will die after this. All others stop Escanor from doing this, but he keeps beating the Demon King. The Demon King is upset and attacks, but all the others come there and save Escanor. Escanor tells them to stay away from this. He also says that when he is alone, they help him control his power, and now he gives his life to help his friends. The Demon King created a creature of darkness to kill all of them, but their combo attack killed him. Then Zeldris fights with the Demon King in his mind. He also says that he trusts in his brother and cannot comply with the Demon King. Zeldris also says to the Demon King that he was defeated by his first son, and now he is also defeated by his second son. The Demon King is in bad condition from the outside and inside. The Demon King comes and puts his hand on Zeldris and calls him his vessel, but Ban catches Zeldris and throws him to Gilda. Zeldris opens his eyes, and Meliodas comes to him and says that he knows that he can do this. And then Meliodas tells the members of the 7 deadly sins to attack. 7 deadly sins are going to defeat the Demon King, but he uses his technique on them and they can't move. They also attack him from inside, but he says that a god can't feel pain or fear. Then they use their best techniques against him. The Demon King tells them they're idiots. He has magic, and with that, they can't kill him. Marlin says they have an alternate attack for it. This is the new attack of the 7 deadly sins. Whenever they use that attack, its power doubles, and then the Demon King dies. Meliodas tells Zeldris that the magic lake stores limitless magic, which is why it doesn't hit the whole of Britannia. Then Diane sees that the commands of the Demon King are still alive. Marlin says that only one person can break these commandments. Meliodas comes to his true magic form and vanishes all his commandments. People in Britain are happy. Escanor can't move his body because he uses more power, and this may be the end of his life, but he is happy. He says he always loves Marlin, even though she has bad halves. and then he disappears from there. There is a party in Lions, and Viven comes to Gilthunder. Viven tells him that the imbalance between light and darkness has ended, and now is the time to follow chaos. Gilthunder is surprised to see her, because she is dead. She is also the girl who likes Gilthunder very much. Then Gilthunder asks her about chaos. She replies that she doesn't know the exact meaning of it because she heard this from Marlin. When everyone is having a party, Elizabeth says to Marlin that she can remove her mark, but she says no. Then everyone misses Escanor, but is happy because all problems are solved.